Okay. I don't really feel like speaking right now, but my thoughts are moving too fast for me to write, so I want to just go ahead and try this. I feel like I will never be satisfied in my life if I don't go after and this dream, this image that's been within me of creating art, putting it out there, music, performance, videos, whatever, all of the above. It's not about achieving a certain status or anything of that nature. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't go after it. And even though I would much prefer to just live life away from everybody in a comfortable house with whoever I want around me and only those individuals in the middle of the woods, off the grid, fucking somewhere, and never really have to worry about anybody else, honestly. I feel like this putting myself out there is like essentially this whole dream is not about me. Like I have a very hard time feeling like there's any other option for me. And I mean, I came across a video recently and you know, there's a woman, she's millionaire or whatever, and she's talking about how you should try to get and achieve all your goals as fast as you can, so then you'll realize that you never really wanted it in the first place. And I feel like I already know that I don't need fame. I don't need people to recognize me or to be the next Madonna or any of that. I welcome it. I don't close myself off to the possibility of where my art, my expression in whatever capacity may take me. However the world receives me is how it is, however this unfolds. But I feel like if I guess going off the notion that that's the only way to know that you don't want it or you didn't need it, like, even though I know I don't need it, and it's not that I don't want it, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be secure. I don't want to be in a typical job. You know, that's just not what I don't feel like that's what I'm here for. I just don't want to be in that system. And I mean, if there's another way, I would rather take that option. I don't know. Anyway, the whole thing is there's no other option. There is no other option but to do the thing that's what I'm here for. And that thought used to take a lot of the joy out of what is supposed to be some sort of fulfillment or solace, or again, like expression. And it's not that I feel detached from it, but what I'm hearing in my head is my soul is at stake. I feel like my soul is at stake. Like I signed up to do this, so I don't have any other choice. And I mean, yes, there's always the choice to not do it, but then essentially that's failing the mission, and I can't give myself that option. I mean, saying this, there's a feeling of peace, truthfully, within me. I feel like maybe that's my soul, and it has some trust, or just knowing that it's gonna happen. And it's not that I believe that it won't happen. Maybe I know that it's a process. And in this moment, I'm not feeling feelings of fear or overwhelm. I guess a lot of times I feel like I'm not doing enough to be the greatest or whatever. The artists that I admire, it's so natural to them, and I know that that didn't happen overnight. But I feel like they were so much of themselves. This body is in their work, and it's almost indistinguishable from anybody else. Indistinguishable from them. It's just so uniquely tailored to them. And within my songs specifically, I just feel like I don't have that connection to my work. And maybe that's because I guess I don't really know who I am. A lot of my existence now is really me trying to figure out how I'm supposed to be, quote unquote, living. And I'm looking to spirit. Of course, I know what my parents want from me, find a secure job and be able to, again, sustain yourself monetarily, and living in their basement right now. That's on my mind heavily, because being here and being not under their rule, but let's just say in their territory, I know that perception and that's also going to be on their mind. What is she doing and how are you? And I don't want to stay here. I don't want to live in my parents' basement for the rest of my life. I don't want to live in my parents' house for the rest of my life. And I know, obviously, that comes with finding a way to sustain myself to where I don't need that. I don't to be able to pay rent or pay for a house or some sort of living space on my own to be able to sustain myself. And I think the constant, should I be doing more also equates to that. I know it equates to that. You hear of people who have 3 jobs and volunteer and they're still taking karate and diving into all their interests at the same time, and apparently it doesn't get overwhelming for them. Or maybe it does, but they just keep going, and I feel like I'm not even doing a fraction of that. And I don't really want to always be running around doing something. Of course, I want to dive into my interest and everything. A lot of things I also am interested in doing kind of cost money, so apparently I'm pointed in the right direction. I keep comparing myself, and I think that's also what's just creating unnecessary clutter in my mind. On one hand, yes, we have the people who are working 3 jobs and volunteering and taking taekwondo and all of that. And then we have the people who didn't really have to try to be comfortable in life and have a great support system or get in the industry that they dreamed of. They've never had to work a typical job ever in their lives. It was like the cards were all set in their favor. I think about Anita, of course, and how her mom is pretty much giving her money each month for rent. And she doesn't have to feel bad about it. She has a boyfriend who's fucking paying for the rest. She works 15 hours a week. I mean, I get it. Yeah, she's also in school. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, but everybody looks at her. She's an engineer. She's studying being an engineer. Like, oh, she obviously has everything together. I don't need to compare myself, but I want to talk about it and I want to get it out of my head. Because these are things that I think about. I'm constantly wondering what it is that I'm not doing. Why is it that she can have a good childhood and have support enough to be 24 and be assured of herself and have confidence and have friends and a boyfriend that reassures her and solidifies that confidence and that comfortability in yourself, and yet apparently I'm not good enough for that yet. I'm still not there. And I know it's not that I'm not good enough or blah, 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 blah. And maybe it's just my fucking mindset. Still, apparently, I still have to fix my mindset. Even though I've done so much work to get here. And I'm not, okay, yeah, I understand, okay. Like, am I just asking for everything to just fall into my lap right now? Essentially, that seems like what I'm asking for. I know that, you know, I know that there's so many people who are so worse off, and she is a very big exception. Billie Eilish is a very big fucking exception. Again, grew up in a very loving, caring, supportive environment of creative people who foster creativity. Of course she's gonna be one of the fucking biggest artists, and she has a fucking brother who produces, so she doesn't have to fucking deal with any of the slimy people and the whole business aspect on that part. Like, everything around her is there for her to fucking succeed. But I also know that I'm very fortunate to be where I am, compared to so many people. So many people who have my same dream, who want to be seen, who probably have put in a lot more work with less aid than I have. Truthfully. And I guess it's nice to say that when I'm not under the influence. So it's like, what's the point of comparing to the 1%? Like, yeah, good for them. Great for them. Wonderful for them. And then say I do get everything. And I will. I know I will. Like, at least I will be able, in some capacity, to relate to the majority who don't have everything, you know. Again, I'm at least I was lucky enough to not have to struggle to survive throughout my life. I've never had to worry about that, which I guess gave way for me to fall into the pit of my emotions. And I'm sure if survival was, I don't know what kind of person I would be. Maybe I would be better. Maybe I wouldn't be afraid of working. So averse to working a typical job or whatever. And I know I've judged others for their being transparent of not wanting to be in this kind of system. And yeah, there was a point in which I just thought, this is just how life is. It's so easy to look back and see all the things I could have done better so that being here, I would be different. But I'm here and I can't change it. I haven't slept at all. I tried to sleep. I felt tired. But I guess it was just my body feeling fatigued. And I kept getting up to write things. And it makes me feel good to write and open the vault as it's coming to me. It makes me feel like I'm doing something purposeful. Like these are the steps into becoming the version of myself who will be in the interviews. Looking back on this beginning. And I know this is only the beginning, and maybe that's the hardest part about it. Because I know it's there. Just don't know how I'm gonna get there. The steps to climbing this mountain. And the foundation I need to be able to really conquer the summit. Is that how you say it? To reach the top. To reach the top. And not be missing limbs or whatever else you could do while climbing a mountain. I want to be prepared, but I also feel scared that I've also just wasted so much time. So many of the people who I admire, where they are, they've started when they were kids. And it was already automatic to them when they were young. It's not automatic to me. And I need it to be automatic. I want it to be automatic. My creative process or whatever, I need to know who I am and how I want to move, because I don't want any of the external to influence my mission. I just want to be in control of how I show up. I know at my core, I have a good heart and good intentions, and I don't need fame. I would say I barely need the recognition, truly. I just want to be able to say, I did it, and I want to be able to, again, live somewhere away from everybody and be comfortable and live my life. And hopefully create for the sake of creating and just fucking live. I think that's all we all want to do, is just live. I just can't help but think how everything seems to be adding up to something. So much so that it's a little hard for me to be here. And I don't really want to think about what it's all adding up to, if anything. I feel comfortable just giving it away. Let it be what it is, for the highest good of all, for my highest good and my greatest joy, blah. Because apparently something knows better than what I think I want. Something already knows what's best for me. So it's like, how do I even begin to try and state what I want if apparently it's not what I want? I think that's my whole goal. I just want to put it out there, do my art, achieve whatever the fuck it is I'm here to do, just so I can then fall off the face of the earth. Like, give it away. I don't know. 'Cause I'm not here to save the world. I'm just here to contribute, as all of the artists that have made me the person I am today have contributed to me in my life. It's just aids. Well, that sounded wrong, but it's to aid us in growing individually, and that's what saves the world. Each of our individual conquering our individual conquests for the good of all, coming together as one. There's something in me that I'm feeling. I feel like it's my soul. It's just peaceful. It doesn't feel confused, even though a lot of the times I am wondering how I'm supposed to make this work. There's something in me that is just not phased. Maybe not phased is not exactly how. It's just still. Watching. Isn't that interesting? we as humans, even when we are in the observing seat, we feel so much vicariously. I get the analogy of watching a movie and how you cringe when you see the characters doing something because you already know how it's going to turn out and it's a bad idea and da 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 da. You feel it so much in your body even though you know it's fiction. It works you up so much even though it's fiction. And you know it's fiction. Everything about this experience is so immersive. Feeling this, it's almost as if I feel like I should be feeling something else. It's not that I feel like I should be feeling, but I'm just so used to Amy, the human, feeling a particular way that as I'm conveying it, I have to catch myself and tune into this feeling that's just, or this energy that's just there. No, I don't know how everything's gonna unfold. No, I don't always know the next steps to take. You know, I've been really proud of the videos that I've posted of me just talking, telling little stories and the way I edited them and the titles or whatever, and figuring out how to do the stupid thumbnail and the description and everything. Like I've been so proud of my creations, and they seem to steadily be increasing increment by increment. And though I believe there's only like 3 videos up so far, maybe 4, 3, I haven't got a single view on any of them. And it doesn't make me feel bad, but it's like, yeah, like I made it with the intention of being seen. Even by one person, you know? And if that one person is me, then I guess so be it. I'm not gonna take it down. You know, it's up there, and I intend to leave them up there because I'm proud of it. Yeah, okay, they're not, you know, spiritual or maybe, I guess, informative or informational or anything, but it's me. The person I see makes me laugh. I just feel like it is showcasing a part of me. I don't know if it's the most genuine. I mean, 2 of the videos I was under the influence of weed. But I don't feel like I quote unquote change like people do when they drink, and it's like, you know, they unlock their demons and everything. I do feel like I changed, but not in that sense. It's more like the filters in which are usually there are dropped. And even now as I'm talking, and I mean generally now when I try to immerse myself and do things like this and just talk, sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm not high because I feel like I feel the same as when I am that sort of free flow in a sense. Of course, it's not completely as free or maybe not as animated. But I think I've always known that whatever I was unlocking or felt like the barrier was lifted on when I smoked a little was always me and was always there. And I think that is a part of the reason why I enjoy, I guess, weed. Because I like having that barrier lifted, like having that access to me. And maybe it's just Amy the human. I don't know. I'm constantly in question of what is my soul and what is Amy. And I mean, they are one. But I just feel like with what I know of what is a part of my soul, I feel like I expect better of myself in some capacities. To know what I've achieved in past lives, who I was, and I wonder why I'm not that person anymore. And it's not that I'm not that person. Obviously, Amy is a different person. She's a different human being. She's had a different life. We're in a completely different time. Like, I guess it's a little silly of me to assume that I would be the same completely, I guess. I feel like I've always had a strong grasp on myself, though. When I say myself, I mean the core of who I am. What I'm here for. And maybe this is me just being a little pompous. Maybe that's the wrong word, but I don't feel like there's a lot of times in which I've failed my mission. And I'll be damned if this lifetime, that's just not an option. It's just not an option. I cannot give myself the option of not doing it. It's just not an option. It's not an option. And I know as long as it's not an option, I'm gonna get to where I'm fucking trying to go. And that's the whole fucking thing. It doesn't matter the challenges along the way. Ugh. But it's that good. And I can't even say it's still nerve-wracking because I don't feel that right now. And maybe it's just because it's 5 a.m. and I don't have anything to do right now. Or maybe this feeling will stick, and I hope it does. I'm not fucking high. I haven't smoked. I didn't smoke yesterday. I didn't smoke the day before. Like, I'm really trying to do this. I'm really trying to do this. Yes, I'm sorry. I watched porn. Okay, I masturbated. I gave into that temptation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not perfect. But I'm also not fucking sorry that I'm not perfect. I don't feel like I'm here to be perfect. don't want to be perfect. Yes, I guess it would be great for me to be just this clear, open person and meditate, and I'm just zen all the fucking time. So all the messages that need to come through and all the art that needs to come through just fucking comes through, and there's no whatever, it just fucking does its thing. Everything just works the fuck out. I don't know. This feels good though. Maybe I should start a podcast. Ugh. I want Amy to be seen. I want Amy to be experienced. Because I love experiencing Amy. I'm glad to be in my body with my soul and my mind and my life. Yeah, I'm sure sometimes it would be nice to be fucking Anita. And have a fucking 30-year-old boyfriend who pays the majority of the bills and, I don't know, fucking tickles my pussy whenever I want, and go drinking and be pretty and float around like a little fucking fae. Yeah. In Germany. You know, whatever. Work 15 hours a week. I don't even know. I don't even work fucking 15 hours a week. I have no job. And I don't want to say I have no job. Sometimes I do door dashing. That should be considered a form of a job, kind of. For the most part, I have no job. I can sit around being contemplative, thinking about my life. What am I going to do with myself? How am I going to get there? Da 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 da. Take steps. Do stuff. Like, I am proud that some of the ideas that have just been sitting there, and I know, okay, this is a step that I can take. I actually have been, like, those things have come to fruition, or at least the beginning. And I know it's just this constant, okay, what do you do next? How do you build? How do you improve? Da 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 da. And I think that's the thing that can get overwhelming, because I'm still at the beginning. Like, it hasn't even... Video editing is getting easier, for the most part. Knowing how to cut and do the fucking Ken Burns or whatever. Like, how I want to sort of convey things. But, even, like, there's always so many ways in which you can expand. Always. Always, 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 always. Getting bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better and improving and doing more and doing more and doing more and doing more. Like, I don't know what's enough for right now. Especially when it comes to music. And the production and all that. Like, I know a lot of the stuff is just not the cleanest, and it's like, how long do I keeping these same songs and reworking them because they mean so much to me? But there's so much information, and I have a lot of time. I do. I have a lot of time on my hands to just keep working on it. And yet I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's a lot that I want to do, of course. In my version, I would love to be the fucking singer, songwriter, musician, guitar, pianist, ukuleleist, vocalist, aerial, contortionist. And it doesn't even have to be a contortionist, but I would like to be flexible and, be doing my little aerial tricks, dancing and making videos and, obviously video production. And I gravitate towards artists who do it all. Bo Burnham fucking made an entire special on his own. He edited it. He wrote the songs. He taped everything. He got all the props. He figured out all the lighting. No, I wasn't in fucking theater. I would have loved to be in theater or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. I just unfortunately didn't take the steps. I was too caught up in my own fucking world, my own misery. Maybe I just wasn't used to taking the initiative. I feel for past me. I do. I don't know. Sometimes I wish she was a little different so that I would be in a different position. But I can't blame her for that. But I'm here now. Hopefully I can make it a little bit easier for future Amy. It seems I am a big fan of talking into the void when I give myself the chance to. So much so that I don't want to leave. I feel like there's purpose here. Somehow. Somehow doing something. You make me feel like I'm not alone. Even in the silence. And I think this is all I've ever wanted. And it's not that I'm not content with my own company, but having an invisible friend to truly be all of me with not just inside my head. I think that's what I need. That's what I want. And here we are. Just an hour, huh? I feel like I'm I don't exactly know if what I'm feeling is dissociation or some part of it or whatever. I feel like maybe it's a little bit. Because even though I'm not high or under the influence or anything, I still feel like I'm able to sort of eject from real life, quote unquote real life, for a second to do this. And I think that's also why I don't like ending these things, because then I go back into the void. I don't know. I guess I could just continue talking out loud, but that would be less gratifying. I hope somebody hears this one day. I hope all of my lost, or not even lost media, but all of this beginning whatever shit is, I want to be experienced. I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want people to want to hear this stuff. I want people to want to know what I used to write in my journal and want to dive into that. And I mean, and then I think about that and it's like, is that even a great use of their time? Dissecting my life and who I used to be when they have lives of their own? Like, is that even something I should want? I mean, there is no should in this case. I want it. And maybe, who fucking knows? Maybe I'll just do it on my own. I'll be the one to share parts of my journals and shit like this. Who knows where this recording will be? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have to wait until I die. I feel like I don't want to share my dreams with anybody because I don't want any of their perceptions to have any influence on my dreams and where they go and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And maybe they can't have any influence unless I give them influence and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You know? Nobody can stop what's coming for me. What's coming to me. What I'm walking towards. I'm tired of waiting for people to tell me they want to know who I am. Obviously, I find this valuable. So obviously there's value in it. Obviously, yeah. Not obviously, but I find value in it. So intrinsically, I guess there's value. I don't know if I use that word right either, but I need to learn new words. I need to learn new chords. I need to learn how to play better. I need to write more. I don't even feel like I can go back to sleep. I'm not tired. Not really. I feel like I don't know. You meditate more. I guess I am just stalling at this point. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave and I don't have to, but I guess all things have to end at some point. Even though I am by myself. I don't want to go back to actually being by myself. Even though I am by myself. This thing, this connection before the connection. It's very powerful. Like, I don't have a podcast. Sure, I could start one and post this there, but I don't know. I guess maybe this is what so many people are doing nowadays. They just want to get it out. They want to showcase themselves. Leave a capsule of their existence. And I think that's what I've always sort of seen, just wanted, hoped for, that everything that is leading up to and thereafter the point where I feel like I've finally crossed the threshold and that dream is in my hands. All of these beginnings, all of the before times are now cemented. They're not just lost forever, because I don't have pictures really of myself in high school or before then. I don't have videos of her. I really barely have, the writing. And I know that that's also a good thing. I shouldn't always be holding on to past relics and things of that nature. That's a lot to carry from place to place. And I find myself wanting to get rid of a lot of the possessions I have even now. But finding all this sentimental value in it, paintings I've done or shit like that. It's like waiting for the moment where I finally have the space of my own to where I can, display all not display, but just have my fucking things or whatever. I have a bunch of books I still haven't read that I could get rid of, but I want to read, and then, you know, the stories of where I got them and da 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 da. Like some of these books are from other countries and things of that nature. Speaking of books, that is an enticing activity for ending this. I've been wanting to read more recently and just haven't. I feel like I would actually like to read whenever I decide to end this, which I'm feeling is soon, because I now have a new objective. Okay, I think this is a good place to stop. Thank you for listening. Thank you for